How do your monitoring missions in Ukraine potentially intersect with the Vienna Convention on Civil Liability and/or the Supplementary Convention for Nuclear Damages?
Well, I would say that there could be, the intersection could be very complicated in case something, God forbid, would happen, because in case, and this is very speculative, Jonathan, you would agree, in case something happened at the ZNPP, there would be issues of ownership and legal debates about ownership. We know, and in accordance with the UN and the General Conference and Board resolutions for the IAEA, this is a Ukrainian facility, but of course there is another operator that has a different view on that. So I could foresee, if that was to happen, then we would have a very prolonged and most probably very difficult to solve legal debate.
But what gives you the confidence that in the event of nuclear damage, your monitors will be able to distinguish between an armed attack and operator negligence?
We would be able to do that.
But you haven't been able to do that now, after 2 years.
No, we have. The only thing where there is an expectation which is unfulfilled by some, or for some, rather, is that we point fingers and we said, red card to Ukraine or yellow card to Russia. And this is something which I explained already at length. I think the experts there would be in a position to say very, very clearly whether an event is directly origined by an external cause or by an internal process which is not functioning in accordance with the safety standards.
Grossi, during one of the most recent missile strikes on Ukraine, Russia hit vital electrical substations which are essential for the safety of its nuclear power plants. Have you discussed this issue with the Russian officials, maybe during your recent visit to Kaliningrad? And have you warned the Russian side not to make further attacks on these important power substations? Well,
I would say in general terms and in more specific terms. In general terms, you may have seen my press, doorstep in Kurchatov, where I said to everybody that nuclear power plants in any way cannot be considered military targets, and they are not legitimate military targets. I said it again in Kaliningrad, which is part of the Russian Federation, and I said it again in Kiev. So for me, there is really no ambiguity about that. When it comes to particular missile strikes here or there, it depends on where this is, how it happened, and so on. You may have heard that we are now working on looking more closely, as a result of my recent visit to Kiev and my conversations with President Zelensky. We are working more closely on the subcritical substations, which are critical. Substations which are critical to the external power supply of the three operating nuclear power plants. Well, the role of the IAEA is to try to ensure that the safety and the security of any nuclear power plant in the world is not compromised. These cases are different, and I think we should be clear that Zaporozhye and Kursk are different cases. The common denominator, hence our presence there or our work there, is that there could be an issue of nuclear safety and security which could be compromised. In the case of Zaporozhye, well, you've been following this for 2 years and a half. It's a nuclear power plant which is very close to the combat zone. It's a nuclear power plant which has been shelled. It's a nuclear power plant who has had 8 complete blackouts, and it's a power plant whose one of the cooling towers has been burned, not down yet, but it's completely burned inside. You may have seen the footage and myself inside. So there has been a lot in terms of the physical integrity of this. The case of Kursk is different. It's an normally operating plant in the Russian Federation, which has become close, or military action or incursion has come closer to it around 30 kilometers. I was also shown, as I said last week, when I was visiting the week before, when I was visiting Kursk, I was also shown some indications of impact projectiles that may have impact Kursk. So the two cases are relevant. This is why we are involved. In the case of Zaporozhye, is a deeper involvement, is a permanent involvement, is an involvement that includes assistance and support. And in the other case, it has been an observation of a situation that seemed to be going a little bit out of hand. We are monitoring that. We're seeing what may happen. So we will be you will be seized with the situation, and in case something happens, we hope not, we will try to contribute.